Our Wyopreps fan voted big school game of the week when it comes to football is in Class 4A. It's a top two showdown with the second-ranked Sheridan Broncs going on the road to top-ranked Cheyenne East on this Friday night, visiting with Sheridan head coach Jeff Mowry. And I know, Jeff, I saw you a couple weeks ago when you guys came down and played Laramie. You were a little bit banged up there. Let's start with, first of all, are you a little healthier coming into this big matchup?
Well, yes and no. We got healthier in the running back slot, but got lost a starting offensive lineman last week to an ACL, and so that hurts for sure. Josh Davis is a junior, having a great season for us. Offensive and defensive lineman went down with the ACL, and so that's always hard. But we're healthier in some spots, not so healthy in others, and so I think it's that's kind of a football season for you as you get a little better and you get a little leaner in some spots, and so you've got to find a way to have depth in those positions and try to make it through.
How would you describe how you're playing right now about halfway through the season?
I've really been pleased with our guys' effort. We haven't had to coach effort. We're working a lot of technique and we're not where we need to be yet. So we're probably mid-season form and we're going to get tested tonight for sure about where we're at. Cheyenne East is definitely that measuring stick, and we've been needing to see where we're at compared to that. So that'll be a good thing for us to find out.
What are you doing with your guys in terms of offense, defense to kind of keep their focus in such a long, grinded out season in 4A football? How do you guys go about that?
We've kind of used the same format for the last 15, 17 years, and we really start back at the basics, and our offense is pretty basic and vanilla at the beginning of the year. And our defense and our special teams, and we just try to continue to add on and get a little bit more sophisticated, and we really push at the beginning, doing our fundamentals correctly. We still every week practice tackling, and some people will say that you can't be hitting that much during the year, and we don't really hit that much, but we have to practice tackling. We think it's no secret, if you block better than the other team and you tackle better than the other team, your chances are pretty darn good. And so we really work those fundamentals and then try to expand just a little bit and keep our guys fresh. And and in football too, you game plan and you watch a lot of film and try to see what the other team's strengths and weaknesses are. And so each week there's some adjustments. We have our base offense and defense, but there's some adjustments and fine tuning that goes in with each team.
Talk about Dane Steele and just another special player in your program that you guys have developed. What does he bring to the table as a guy who's had a lot of experience the previous couple of years and still thriving here in his senior season?
Yeah, you could just walk down the hallways of Sheridan High School and ask any teacher about Dane Steele, and you'll get the same answer, as he's just a high quality young man. And it doesn't matter if you're a coach, you're a principal, you're a teacher. The people in the hallways and the students in the hallways of Sheridan High School respect Dane Steele because of the way he operates. He's a nice young man that my son, my little son, and my daughters look up to, because he just does things right and he's kind to everybody. He helps out with our adaptive PE class. He works in Big Brothers Big Sisters. He's in the AP classes, and he's just a phenomenal young man. His mom has done a great job of raising him and his siblings, and he's just a high quality young man that is a special athlete on the football field, the wrestling mat, and the soccer field as well.
All right, let's get to the big matchup, Cheyenne East. What do you see when you see Coach Goff's squad, which nobody's been able to slow down?
That's exactly right, David. Nobody has been able to slow down. They're scoring 52 points a game. That's unheard of, and 450 yards of total offense. And in many of those games, I think all but one of them, their starters are out in the first half. It's just absolutely incredible what Coach Goff's got going, and nobody's found the recipe to slow that offense down. And the offense gets a lot of credit, but then their defense turns around and forces a 3 and out and gives it right back to their offense. And so on both sides of the ball, they're really, really explosive, and offensively, they'll drive 80 yards in 1 to 6 plays. It doesn't usually take more than that, and they put up a touchdown, and then their defense comes on and causes chaos. They're an aggressive style of defense that causes turnovers and chaos, and then their punt return team has been incredible this year too, and in taking a couple to the house, but also giving them great field possession. So I think in the Thunder Basin game, I don't think they were on their own side of the 50 but one time the entire first half.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
they're impressive.
Yeah, it's going to be a formidable challenge. You mentioned measuring stick. This seems to be kind of a budding rivalry. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and if you look the last 4 or 5 years, Cheyenne East or Sheridan has been in the top or in Laramie or winning the last 4 or 5 years. And so um, they're a very, very good football program, and Coach Goff and his staff Coach Goff's been there for quite some time, besides Coach Harshman, the second longest tenured coach in 4A, and he's done a phenomenal job there, and his staff has been consistent, and they have that culture of expectations, and they have very good athletes, and they have very good coaching, and you get those two things together, good things happen. And so we're excited for the opportunity to go find out where we're at. And this every year, Natrona, Cheyenne East, Thunder Basin, those are your measuring sticks. And this year, really, Cheyenne East has taken the lead, and I would say way out in the lead there. And so it'll be interesting to see how we measure up.
So I don't want you to give away your game plan, but what are maybe some basic kind of keys tonight for your ball club?
People will say, everybody knows this, but really against a team like this, we've got to control the ball and get first downs. And whether we score or not, we've got to have first downs and change field position, because if we don't do that and we give them a short field, Thunder Basin experienced it and didn't have a first down, I think, until their fourth or fifth series. And Cheyenne East was already up 35-0 by that time. And so we cannot give them that opportunity. A year ago here at our place, we gave them a 14-0 spot in the first quarter, and that was awful difficult to come back from. And we just can't do that this year. We've got to keep the ball in front of us defensively. And then when we have the ball on offense, we've got to sustain drives. And if we finish with points, great, but we've got to change field position and put 80 yards in front of that offense.
Jeff, thanks again for the time. Best of luck against the Thunderbirds. I know it's a game everybody's looking forward to, and we'll find out after tonight.
It should be a fun one. Thanks, David.
We continue to talk about the Wyopreps fan voted big school game of the week. It takes us to Class 4A, and it's a top two showdown as the top-ranked Thunderbirds of Cheyenne East take on the second-ranked Sheridan Bronx, visiting with Cheyenne East head coach Chad Goff. Chad, thanks again for a few moments of your time here. All right, we're in the middle of the season. It's kind of a grind right now. How would you describe how things are with your group and trying to kind of push through this middle portion of the season?
Things are going well. So far this week, practices have been good, high energy, and kids flying around doing good things. So I think things are going well at all levels for us.
Obviously, we've talked about Cam Hayes, Drew Jackson. I know last time I asked you about your line play. What are you doing defensively to really limit teams and give you that ability to, one, have short fields, but two, really jump on teams early?
The kids are just executing their assignments. It's really no change from what we've been doing in the past. And kids that are playing, they've had a lot of time in this program, and they've had a lot of varsity reps in the past. And so when you have those factors all adding up, good things are going to happen.
Has there been anybody in that front seven that's kind of surprised you with their play this year at all?
I'm with those kids all year, and so we have it. They're always being evaluated. We tell them that you're always being evaluated. A lot of those kids throughout their time here have played in, your 9 freshman games, your 9 sophomore games, your 9 JV games, and so they've been evaluated. And so we kind of know who they are and what they bring to the table. And so I would say we're surprised with anybody. We're happy with how they're doing.
Obviously, I know you like matchups like this to kind of get a sense of where your team's at. Is this one of those occasions where the guys are going to be up for the game? You kind of got to pull them back a little bit at all?
I don't think so. I think they're ready to rock and roll and play. And they're high school kids. Emotions are going to be emotions. And I've never been one to sit there and try to control all that kind of stuff, because everyone reacts different to emotion, and we talk about what the game means. It means being 1-0, and it means trying to stay in the driver's seat for the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. It's that's what it is, and so that's what we talk to them about, and talk to them about continuing to do what we do and get better daily.
What do you see when you see Coach Mowry's bunch this year?
What you see every year, just good football. I mean, they just do a good job. They're well coached. This year they're spreading the ball around a little bit more, and so they're making you more accountable. And special teams wise, they still do what they do, and they're good at it. Things, that Haswell kid, and he's doing some good things on that D line and making you know where he's at, and so again, just a well coached team, and kids that just buy into their program and have great tradition, and they play hard.
Are there certain guys that you look out for in terms of scouting a team like Sheridan?
Well, you know, in the past, yeah, I would say there's guys this year. They're spreading the ball around so much. We know who does well with the ball in their hands, and we know what that person does that makes them play well, and so that's the stuff for. But yeah, I think they've done a good. Quarterback's throwing the ball well. He runs the ball well. Running backs have done a good job. They've run a little bit of wildcat stuff once in a while, and so defensively, we know where their dudes are at, and the guys know what to look for and stuff like that. So yeah, that we scout them as a team, but we scout each individual too and talk about, you know, what this kid does and what this kid does, and so that way kids are familiar with stuff.
In such a good matchup like this, what, and you stress this all the time, you talked about it earlier just a little bit ago about, you know, take care of ourselves. What do you stress with your team in terms of important
Detail.
keys?
Just pay attention to the details. You know, you're not first day of practice and go, let's just do this and show them the playbook and go. There's a lot of details that go into all that, you know. So we tell Haley, you know, pay attention to the details. Don't worry about anything else other than being the best you can be, and see where that takes you.
I know there's a lot of people who like to be at your house on Friday night. Wish you the best of luck against the Bronx, Chad.
All right, thank you.